Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 20 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is JJ Muscatel. Did I say that right? I really hope so. But thank you so much for the support, JJ. We really appreciate it. We think you're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, we were asking the question, what's the deal with Brett? What's wrong with Brett? Does he actually want Scotty to stay? Does he want to team up with JC, Scotty, and Sam to take out the rest of his level 6 group? What's going on here? Because he had that really long strategy chat with Scotty. Well, we got a little bit of clarity yesterday, I think. Unless it's like a double blindside situation, but I don't think so. So first, well, okay. Brett was chatting with Tangela in the HOH room. First, he's venting about Sam. He comes in and says he is so angry at Sam, he can't even take it because Haley took Sam's mattress topper. Apparently not all the beds have those mattress toppers to make it like super comfy. So Haley took Sam's because she's a have-not this week. Sam is a have-not, so she doesn't need that in her bed. And then Sam went and took Brett's and put it on her bed even though she's a have-not this week and has to sleep in a satellite dish. What's the deal with that? So Brett was pretty pissed about it when he went in there and saw his bed all torn up and his mattress topper was gone. So Sam is always saying, like, if you have a problem with me, she wants you to come right to her and confront her about it. So Brett did that and she got all pissed at him. So yeah, he was not happy with her. Brett says that he feels really like petty and embarrassed for being annoyed about something so stupid. Seriously. But he feels like it's death by needles, and this is the millionth needle. I mean, it's easy for us to be like, that's so stupid, I can't believe he's upset about that, but can you imagine being with the same people for like 99 days with no outlet? Like, oh my god, no. No! Okay, so Tyler and Angela agree, like, Sam is a lot, and they all can't even stand to be in the same room with her anymore. It's just too much. She's been, like, extra lately. So Angela feels like they're living in a hoarder's house because Sam's got all of her trash stashed everywhere. I mean, just look at the kitchen table or the dining room table. She's got her, like, crafting supplies all over it. It's a mess! So they're getting really tired of her. But they agree, as annoyed they are with Sam, next week they still want to take out Haley because she is more of a game threat. So then, this is where the whole Scotty thing comes into play. Brett shares that he had a long conversation with Scotty the night before, and Brett was like, yeah, I told Scotty, just tell me everything you've got so that we can figure out how to keep you this week. So then he says the floodgates opened, and Scotty gave him all this information. So Brett is like, alright, I asked Scotty if he told Fessy that he was going to finish what he started and put me up on the block. Which Scotty did say to Fessy. So he says that Scotty, when he asked him that, got all red. He like visibly gulped before denying it. And Brett knows that that's BS. So he's like, that just confirmed to me that Scotty's got to go this week. Absolutely. So it looks like Brett really does want Scotty to go. So Brett is saying he pretty much already knew everything that Scotty was telling him because it was all stuff that level 6 had planted with the hive. It was all BS that they were feeding to them, like how Tyler kept saying that Scotty was his best friend so that Bailey would maybe put him up on the block to retaliate, but like that never came into play. Stuff like that, or obvious stuff like Haley having all those final 2 deals, and he's like, I already knew that. Big whoop. So they cannot believe that Scotty really thinks that he's the pawn this week, and it seems like he really truly does feel that he is. So Scotty keeps telling everybody that he's not going to campaign until Wednesday or Thursday. So again, it looks like from what Brett was telling Tyler and Angela that he's not really trying to keep Scotty. I guess he was going for that jury vote with him, trying to make it like, I want you to stay here. I did everything I could, but couldn't make it happen. Also, like he said, I'm sure he was trying to get as much info about the jury house and the jurors as possible. Alright, so then later did, what? Later, Scotty did end up campaigning a bit to JC. This is something that he talked about the night before with Brett, how he needs to work on JC. So Scotty asks him, do you know what you're going to do on Thursday? And JC's like, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Yes, he has. He's voted you out. So Scotty says from what he's been told, he's the pawn this week. So JC asks him, who told you that? Scotty says Tyler. And then JC feels like he needs to do some damage control because he knows that Scotty has heard that JC was the one that told Fessy to put Scotty up on the block. So JC brings up this rumor and Scotty's like, yeah, that's what Fessy told me during the battle back, that you were the one that convinced him to put me up. And JC says he's probably just trying to protect Haley because Haley was in on all those conversations. And Scotty's like, that's what I think too. Does he really think that? He seems convinced, unless he's like a really, really good actor. So Scotty reveals that Fessy also told him when he was coming back into the house to look out for both JC and Angela. So JC says, well, that's really shitty of him to say. But it's true. He says that he never told Fessy to put up a specific person. He would never be stupid enough to do that. Oh, yes, he did. He definitely convinced Haley and then Fessy to put Scotty up that week for sure. So then Scotty brings up all of Haley's final 2 deals, also the deal that she and Fessy tried to make with Tangela. And he says, Haley's got deals with everyone. Translation, vote her out because I don't have anyone and I'm coming back into this house completely blank. So, like, I need people to work with. Keep me around. Scotty says that he doesn't believe the stuff that Fessy told him because he feels good with Angela and JC, and he really does think that Fessy was just trying to protect Haley on his way out. And he also says, keep in mind, Haley's got those 3 jury votes just sitting there waiting, and they're all definitely going to vote for her to win if she makes it to the end, so she would only need 2 more. So you should get rid of her. Okay, so I don't think that really changed JC's mind, but he tried. Okay, so then Angela and Brett had a game chat last night, which is pretty interesting and weird because I feel like the 2 of them have not had a one-on-one in a really long time. Probably not since, like, the whole Tangela thing has blossomed. So Angela asks Brett if Scotty has pitched to him yet. And Brett says it was like a soft pitch because Scotty is pretty confident that he's staying. He thinks that he has the votes. He thinks he's got Angela, Casey, and Sam. But in reality, he's only got one of the 3. Sam, we think. So Scotty wasn't pitching that hard to Brett because he feels like he doesn't really need his vote. So Angela's like, wow, looks like it's going to be another blindside. And it's going to be an almost unanimous blindside. They figure Sam is going to be the only one to vote for Scotty to stay. Yeah. So then Brett asks, okay, what has Haley been saying? Because I know that she's been spending a lot of time with you and Casey. So Angela's like, Haley freaked out because Scotty told her that he's the pawn this week. And Haley's been telling us that she would never go after Tyler, me, or Casey. And how she wants to move on from the past. You know, she put us up. Tyler put her up. Yeah, Angela put her up too. So that's it. You know, it's done. They're even. Angela says no effing way. She does not believe that. Brett doesn't buy that either. So Angela says if Haley does not win HOH next week, or veto, she's gone. That's it. So then they were talking about the jury and how much Rockstar hates both of them. They feel like neither of them are going to get Rockstar's jury vote unless the 2 of them are in the final 2 together. And it almost seemed like Brett was trying to convince Angela, like, hey, we need to go to the final 2 together. But there was no, like, real discussion about that. They were saying that they don't feel like Tyler and Casey are as hated by the jurors so far. But again, they weren't like, let's go to the final 2 together. Okay. So then they were talking about JC. And Brett says JC has been feeling really underappreciated and he's frustrated. But Brett doesn't think that he would actually deviate from the plan and go after their group. I don't know. I mean, there's that chance. Who knows what he would actually do or if he's just all talk. So Angela, at first, you know, when she hears this, is like, JC hasn't done shit. You know, why is he feeling underappreciated? But then she's like, okay, yeah, he's done a lot of work for our group, flipping votes and stuff, but he hasn't won any competitions, and he's never felt the heat of the block. So, like, yeah, he's doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work, but he hasn't had to really get any blood on his hands. So she says, like, I feel bad because he's done this stuff for us, but, like, well, she really wants to see level 6, all 4 of them make it to the final 4 together. So then Angela asked him, who is more of a threat between JC and Sam? Angela says, you know, JC's really good at manipulating people, but there's pretty much no one left for him to manipulate at this point. So is he really, like, that much of a threat? Brett says, yeah, Sam is way more of a threat in competitions. So she's got to go. So it seems like the pecking order at this point is still Scotty this week, then Haley, and then Sam, and then JC. And I mean, that's if everything goes completely 100% the way that they want it to. But you never know who's going to win what competition and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then they agree that it has to be 2 level 6 people in the final 2, or else the other person is going to win, because it's looking like this jury is going to be super, super bitter. Woo! Alright, so then Haley and Scotty both checked in with Tyler last night separately. Haley, it was just like an exact repeat of the conversations that she's been having with Tyler in the last few days. It's getting to be exhausting. She's like, why did you tell Scotty he's the pawn? Am I the real target? Blah, blah, blah. Tyler's like, I didn't tell him that. Relax. And Haley saying that she's not coming after Tyler. It's the same shit over and over again. And then let's talk about Scotty's chat with Tyler. This one was a little bit different. He was, Scott, oh my God. I'm gonna die. Tyler asked Scotty, have you started campaigning yet? And Scotty said he did talk to Brett a little bit. He talked to JC a little bit. So he's telling Tyler about his conversation with JC. So Scotty's like, yeah, we talked about if JC was involved with my eviction or not, and if he was the one that convinced Fessy to put me up. And Scotty says he doesn't believe the stuff that Fessy told him. He says, JC told me that he didn't tell Fessy to put me up, and I believe him. Oh my God. And again, it seemed like he really meant that. He really does not believe Fessy. You've been out of the house for a week. You've got all this information coming from the jury, and you still don't see what's going on here. But in his defense, I guess it is kind of difficult because there's only one alliance in the jury house so far. It's very one-sided, so he's only getting incorrect information from one side. I mean, some of it is correct, but some of it, they had no idea what was going on. So it's not like he's getting info from everybody and like cross-referencing stories and stuff like that. So I guess it's easy to understand how he would be so clueless still. But anyway, he also says that Fessy told him to watch out for JC and Angela. But again, he's not going to trust Fessy because Fessy stabbed him in the back and put him up for eviction, and eventually that led to his eviction. So he says that Fessy was just trying to protect Haley on his way out. Alright, so then Scotty starts doing a little bit of campaigning against Haley. He says he's been confronting Haley about the information that he got from the jury house, and her stories are just not lining up with what they told him in the jury. So Scotty is getting a little bit nervous about Haley spending so much time with Angela and Casey, but Tyler's like, oh, whenever I hear them talking, it's just like about personal things, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, okay. But then Scotty, okay, he's already in trouble here. He's already gonna go this week. But I feel like he just blew it and made it even worse. Because Tyler asked him who he wanted out next. And Scotty said, I don't freaking know. I'm just trying to survive this week. I'm just trying to not get evicted again. Ugh, that's not a good answer. Because when you don't give a specific name, people are gonna assume that you're coming after them or you're trying to hide something. So I don't think that was a good move on Scotty's part, but Tyler is just continuing to act like Scotty is saying this week, and it seems like Scotty is eating it up because he seems really comfortable and it looks like he thinks he's safe. and he's definitely not. So that was pretty much it for last night. Some people, meaning Angela, Casey, and Haley, were getting really pissed at Sam for telling some loud ass stories in the have-not room last night and keeping them all up when they were trying to sleep. So yeah, just another reason for them to be upset with Sam. But today, nothing happening so far. I mean, they are sleeping in until like at least 1 p.m. It's insane. So I don't know, is Scotty gonna campaign or what? It's Wednesday. He said that's when he was gonna start. He seems to think he's safe, so I think it's just gonna be like maybe some light campaigning, just checking in on votes that he doesn't actually have, because as of right now, Scotty will be returning to the jury house tomorrow. So yeah, that's where we're at. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.